Okay, we got a lot to do. Okay, we saw yesterday. So yesterday we had a concept where the Mishnah said a person says mana, give the mana to Pliny, give him mana $100 to so and so, and the person buys, right? You give it. And Rav says, what are we speaking about when he said that mana? We're speaking about Siburin. We're speaking about where it's what it is it was designated in a spot. Mara asks, why do you need to designate it in a spot? If it's a healthy person, without Siburin, it doesn't help because there's no kinyan. And if it's Deve Shchiv Meira, we say Kiksuvim Chsuvim, that means that you don't need Siburin, it should help either way. So we had two terutzim how to answer why Rav needs Siburin. First teretz was it's speaking about what? It's speaking about a bari, and it's speaking about using the concept of Maimet Shloshtin. Maimet Shloshtin was a chiddush, a new type of Yehuda. I got to put you in a spot where I can see Yehuda. You're like, he's like a wall. Yeah. So where can we put you? That works. That works. Okay. Anyway, so Mama's my Mitzlash, and the Rabbanan made a gzeira the following. Gemara came up with, and there's 6 people on Zoom also. So
they thought food's coming tonight. I don't know. All right, you went viral.
You feel bad that people are coming to learn, Avrami? People are walking in, he's going, I know, that's exactly right.
He feels like this is the other share.
Yeah. Zing! Avrami thought he was in Stefanski's share, so he was going. Yeah. Okay, anyway, this is all recording for posterity. It's all recording for posterity, Avrami Reminder. Trader. Anyway, never bought me a present. Anyway, so my mitzvah works like this. If I owe Avrami Branca something, Avrami Branca could tell me, well, give it to Yehuda Gerba, as long as we're 3 of us together. Good. Rav said, and that's why you need Siburin, because in order to go ahead for my mitzvah to work, you have to know where it is. And therefore it's Pikadon, guys. It's a Pikadon, because the Pikadon is in a specific spot. Mashen Kain, if it was a halva, let's say I owed money to Avrami Branca, and Avrami Branca wanted me to pay, said give it to the girl, but then you couldn't do it because the money's it's not there. It's a choiv. It's not there. Okay, that was the shita of Rav Zvid. Rav Papa said it's speaking about a shchiv meira. It's speaking about a shchiv meira. And why do you need siburim? Because he'll like Rav that shchiv meira says mana zeh. As you're worried about a mana that may not be there, might be buried, so you need siburim to be this specific mana. Those are the two terutzim.
Wait, why is that different than Shavudei the Rav Nosson?
Oh my gosh. Yes, Mayor.
Why
you have your hand up? I'm going to listen to you.
Why is that different than Shavudei the Rav Nosson?
Shibud Reb Nassim is a halva. No, it's that. This is a kinyan, Mayor. This is a kinyan. This Shmini Reb Nassim is this one owes this one. This one owes this one. Right? It's not the same case. It's not the same case. It's that you could tell me I have a chiyuv. I don't owe anything to. A owes B, B, or C. I don't owe anything to this guy. Okay. Anyway, let's go on. So the Shibud Reb Nassim, you're paying him. It's not a kinyan. You know, it's not becoming his. You're paying the chayv off. This is a kinyan. In other words, I don't owe him anything. There, you're paying him off a chayv. Okay. Anyway, l'chol pachas. So we have that's the case. Now we're going to go back and analyze the case. Why only by pikad and not by halva? So gufa, we're on Yud Gimel Amid Beis. Mamish, see the Taisus Gufas opposite that, one line down. Gufa, Amrav Huna, Amarav, Monali biyatcha, the money that of mine that's in your hands. So Avrami Branca says, I say to Avrami Branca, the money of mine that's in your hands, to the plainly give to Yehuda Gerba. The Maimet Shloshtin, if all 3 of us are there, Kana, it works. Amarava, Mistaba Milsa the Rav, Pikadon. Mistaba, the words of Rav is speaking about by Pikadon. In other words, since by Pikadon, you know where it is, so everyone has das, the das of the person to be zoichen it. You know where it is? The Yeshua says that the nifgad, the one who it's entrusted to, can be zoich up for the other person. Why? Because he knows where it is. Aval milva loy, but a milva, siva milva loy tzadnit nu. You don't know where. There's nothing there, so therefore it's not kind of maimed shloshim. So maimed shloshim where you can be mezaka according to Tosfos. Maimed shloshim where it's be tam schia. Schia would only be in something that's there. You can't be zoich in a choiv, guys, right? A choiv is in the air. You have to schia is in an object. So because it's an object where you know where the object is, said the chachamim maimed shloshim, you can be mezaka. However, by milva, where you don't know where it is, because it's not there, because it isn't there, because it's a chiyuv, in that case, well, then you can't be maimed shloshim will not work. The Elokim and says, and the Elokim, the lashon of shvua. Rabbi says the lashon shvua. Amar Rav did not say it only by bikadon. He said it afilu b'milva. He said it what afilu b'mil. Even he would say it even b'milva, it would work. In other words, maybe it's not mitam schia. Maybe the chachamim made such a kinyan, it would even work. Itmanami yom Shmuel mishmei de Levi malvo liba yadcha tenei olei leplaini. The halva that I have in your hands, give to so and so. And again, it doesn't say because nobody says the halva. It doesn't say mana. Mana would be the $100 that you have. Over here, saying lashon of halva. The maimed shloshtin. It's the maimed word of shloshtin. Kana you be kaina. So again, Shmuel is corroborating Rav's report of Rav. Rav Huna reported, guys. Rav Huna reported Rav only by pikadon. Rav is reporting Rav afilu by halva, and Shmuel is corroborating Rav's pshat in Rav. The time of my amamema nasa koimele b'shas matan mois. Now, why does it work? In other words, halva tak we don't understand, guys. In other words, we can understand pikadon. Here it is. It works out sphere. You can misaka this guy. Why? How can you go ahead and have a chiyuv and just transfer it over? The chiyuv to you, transfer it over to another guy. You transfer it over to the other guy. Shibuda, the Reb Nosson may have spoken about, but there was a chiyuv by the other guy. Over here, there's no chiyuv. You're saying this one, I want you to pay this one. Okay. So the question is, how exactly does it work using maimed shloshtin? Says the Gemara. I'll tell you how it works. It's nasa. We view it. When you the malva went to loiva the money, shabadnu lecha says the loiva to the malva. It's if he says, "I'm a shubba to you l'didach ulechol de'asei machmascha," and anyone that comes as a result of you. So we're going to view that I owe you money, or anyone that comes as a result of your money. So I owe the money to Avrami Branka, and if Yehuda Gerber is now coming because of Avrami Branka, it's like from the time of the halva. Okay, now. So now, Amar Ravashi, la'amemar elamiata, pikna l'noilodim, lo'havi b'shas matan mois. Guys, how's this working? You're all in the world at the same time. So in our case, I go. Avrami Branka says to me, I say Avrami Branka, I'm going to pay you and anyone because of you. What happens if Yehuda Gerber wasn't born yet, and then he's born later? Can Avrami Branka tell me? Give it to Yehuda Gerber. According to the Sfara, we said no. Why? Because it's the time of Matan Mois when I gave him the money. I told him you and anyone comes machmasla, meaning that the person's in the world. Now we know that doesn't make any sense, right? That we're going to look at a person's birth certificate to see if we say maimed shloshtin or not. So if that's the Sfara of maimed shloshtin, that can't be the Sfara of maimed shloshtin. It doesn't work because elamiata. If that's the Sfara of maimed shloshtin, that the loiva says to the malva, I'm going to pay you and anyone that comes as a result of you, then the one who was born after the transaction took place, you weren't there, you'll say you're not kaina? And that doesn't make any sense. Because even according to Reb Meir, a person can be maked something that's not in the world. That's to something that's in the world. That something's not in the world, it wouldn't work. So l'chayra, it makes no sense. Your svara that you suggest, you're suggesting that maimed shloshtin should work is not a good svara. So Rav Ashi shlogged up a maimer. One more time. We know we're going with the smach now. You say Maimed Shloshna by halva also. Yeah, by halva you say it. We want to know why you say it by halva. How does it work? I understand by pikadon how it works. It works al schia. I can be mezaka something that's in the world to somebody else, but something that's not in the world, a choiv that's not in the world. Novelite son no, right? The money it's a chiyuv. How can you be mezaka a chiyuv? So says the Gemara, says Ameim, I got a good suggestion. At the time of the halva, of the transaction, the loiva tells the mava, I'm going to pay you and anyone that comes as a result of you. Ravashi, if that's the case, a person who was born who wasn't around b'shas halva, you shouldn't have to pay. And there's no svara to say that you would have to pay. So Ella Ravashi, what's an other svara? Why you can have Maimed Shloshtin of halva, Maimed Shloshtin, but Ella Ravashi, what's the svara of halva by Maimed Shloshtin? Behachi hana become mishtanile bein milva yishana lemilva chadasha. Gamu mishabed nafshe. No, you know what? What's the old? I'll borrow from you. I'll pay you back, and then what do? You borrow again. You know, you extend the zman. Correct. So this person, what does he just do? I owed to Avram Branca in April of 2023, but Yehuda Gerber, it's just extended to April 2024. So with that hana. That's Mishnana bein milva lishana gamru mishabed nafshe. The loiva is mishabed himself by extending the loan. Amalei huna marberei Rav Nechemya. The Ravashi elamiyato kigoin hani de beibar al yoshev. These people beibar al yoshev. The kafte v'shakli la'alter. They're going to go ahead and tie you up and it's right away. It's nice to have Yehuda Gerber as the second guy. What happens if the second guy is a mafioso? Right, the second guy is he's a Russian mafia. You're in trouble, right? So you can say in that situation, the guy's not so happy with the loan. The Chitin say he's not happy, and then Maimed Shloshim will work. And guys, when you give a psak halacha, it's got to be across the board. You can't play. Oh, he's a nice fine fellow. Then Maimed Shloshim works, but if he's a mafioso, it doesn't work. That's not Jewish law. We pass a law. It goes across the board. It works all the time. So therefore, we're still stuck. What's the svara that Maimed Shloshtin works by what? By halva. These three things, Shavi Rabbanan kehilchasa b'lei taima. The Rabbanan made a halacha without a reason. Chada ha. One is Maimed Shloshtin. And there's no reason we're going to see in a second. Maimed Shloshtin ha ve'idach. Don't have you them a shmuel hakosev kon lechasav leishtay. Anyone who writes over all his nechasim to his wife. All she is, he really doesn't want to go ahead and take everything away from his yisoimim. What he wants to do is that making her apotropis. I wrote everything over. Hefker Bes can take it away. If someone marries off his son and his oldest son into a base chasnos, that is kind of it without a kinyan. Even without a kinyan, is kind of. So what does it mean over here? It's hilchas ablei time. So let's see Taisus here. It says Taisus, second Taisus, hilchas ablei tam pirish ma shemoyel liknos. In other words, that it would help the mechanics. There's no reason for. Aval tam yesh lama tiknu chachamim maimed shloshtin. In other words, guys, when it says over here, these three things don't have a reason. It doesn't mean there wasn't a reason why they weren't instituted. It means there's no reason why it actually works. The mechanics of halva does not work by Maimed Shloshtin. You can't be mezaka something that's not there. So we're trying to figure out that the loiv is mishabed himself, either because he said the hana, the extended loan, or because what? Because it's like he said, I'm sure with you and anyone comes from you. We don't have a reason, guys. The time of how Maimed Shloshtin does. However, the reason why they made it does. There's a reason. There's a reason why they did it. There's not a reason how it works, but there's a reason why they did it, as the Gemara says right now. What's the reason why they did it? Aval tam yesh lama tiknu chachamim Maimed Shloshtin tiknu shlo yitztarach l'troyach v'lasas kinyanim. In other words, it's a credit card. It's the ease of you don't need kinyanim, right? PayPal. You press on PayPal, you don't have to do anything, right? You don't have to remember your passcode. You just look at your face, and then it's easy to facilitate a transfer of an object. That's the reason they did it. So Avram Branca, I got something about Avram Branca, and Avram Branca wants to give it to Gerba, and the fact that he wants to give it to Gerba, he doesn't want to have to go through the whole thing. So it made it very easy. What? Stern, you give it to me, whatever. I mean, go with him. Boom. That's it. Guys, good. Okay, so good. So that's the end of the sugya of Maimed Shlashtin. That's the end of the sugya of what of Maimed Shlashtin. Okay. Amalei Rav Acha Bargala. But now a bunch of cases now. Habud the Marika, a kav of certain spice. Islay Gabach, I have by you. Yav Leplani, go ahead and give it to so and so. So this would be my Mishlashtin. Ba'pei right? So he what's the lashon? I'm just trying to. So he says he has this Marika, he has this spice. He has the spice over here, and he says to Rav Acha Adla says this kabarika that I have by you, you have leploini, give to so and so. Be apikim the lach the lehadrana be, and I'm telling you this in front of him of so and so, in order that what I should not be able to change my mind. Now the Gemara assumes that if the guy wasn't there, he wouldn't have to change his mind. Mechlal the boy hadabe. In other words, I'm saying in front of you that I'll be embarrassed to go ahead and change my mind. Meaning mashma matzi hadabe, you could change his mind. It's not true. We said that Maimed Shlashtin, the deal is done. It says Hachi Kamar. The Varim Halalu, these things that I'm telling you now, it's not pshat that he could change my mind. I'm saying it, in other words, since I said in front of him, I can't change my mind because he's kind of with Maimed Shlashtin. Okay. Fred the Gemara, why did he have to say that he's not able to return? Rav Chodazim. The Rav already said it once before. Dam Rav Rav, Manali Biatcha, the money that I have in your hands, give to so and so. The Maimed Shlashtin. So and we said that kana, he's kana, the third person's kana. What does the third person kind of mean? Meaning you can't go back on the deal. So why is Rav saying to Rav Acha Bardala, why is he saying it over here that he's saying in front of him that you can't go back, that you can't go back charata? Says Gemara, Imeahi from the din of Maimed Shlashtin, Hava mean, I would have said, Hani Mili Matana Maruba. That's a big matana. Matana Gedoyla with Amira, and therefore you need Amira for the Kenyan. That's a small amount of spice, the kav of the spice loyally by befun of everything you don't even befun of. Kamash Blon, you still need what in front of him, and you're not able to claim it. So there's no difference whether it's a large amount or a small amount. Haniginoi, there were these gardeners, the Ovid Chushbona Bahade Adadi, they made a cheshbin among themselves, and Posh Chamesh Istri Zuzei Gabi Chad Minayim. One of them, according to the cheshbin, had 5 Istari Zuzei by himself. There's 2 types of currencies. There's Sur, and then there's Yerushalayim. The Sur is 1/8 of Yerushalayim. It's less. It has copper mixed with an alloy as opposed to pure silver. So this was in Istara. It was that Iranian money, I think it was. That's what Sel Medina, right? I said Sel Suri is the large amount. Sel Medina is the small amount. I said wrong, guys. It's not Sel Suri is the large amount, and this was the Sel Medina. This was the smaller amount. So they made a cheshbin, and this guy had what? This person had 5. He had 5. So Amalei. So the old cahoots, the gardeners. Yavina Nele Lamari Ara. Go ahead and pay off the owner of the land. They worked the land. Go pay it off that extra. And say Ba'api Mari and he said Ba'api Mari Ara, and he said pay off this, but we owe the Baal Karka. So l'chayr is the Maimed Shlashtin case, right? This guy has extra 5. You owe to us because you have the extra 5. Give it to the Baal Karka. That would be Maimed Shlashtin. The Konamine and the Baal Karka, he made a kinyan. The Seif also, the person who when it being delayed in Abshay, he checked his books and and he didn't have any extra 5. He had no extra 5. He was exactly what it was. So Asta Kamed Rav Nachman, he came in front of Rav Nachman, and Amalei, Rav Nachman told him, Maya Avad, what can I do for you? First of all, right, the Baal Karka is kind of the money. The din of Maimed Shlashtin. So he made the kinyan. In addition, you made a kinyan chalipin. He made a kinyan chalipin. So guys, outside, you have a gardener, two gardeners and a balabas. They make a cheshbin. One of the gardeners has 5 extra istari, and they owe this is owed to the balabas. Says the other gardener, listen, in front of the balabas, go ahead and give it to him in front of him. And in fact, he even made a kinyan chalipin. He made a kinyan chalipin. So now he came out, goes home, checks his books, and there's no extra money. He's out. He's out for his story. Goes to Rav Nachman, says, what can I do for you? First of all, you had, even without a kinyan, you had Maimed Shloshtin, and Sveitens, he made a kinyan chalipin to the balakarka that is kind of it. So what am I supposed to do for you? What do you mean? He had the money. He had the money, gave him the money. He gave him the money, but the cheshbon was they shouldn't have given him the money because he didn't owe it.
Right, so it didn't belong to him, so.
Okay, so hang in there. V'oid ha'kanimine, samalei rava, atu hai mi ka'ama lo yavina, right? But so amalei Rava said to Rav Nachman, atu hai mi ka'ama lo yavina. Did he say that what he doesn't want to give his mechuyev to give him? The leka gabe kame, saying he didn't have the money by him. In other words, it was a mistake. He's timing that what it wasn't hit. There wasn't any extra money. So Amalei, so Nachman said him, Cain, that you don't have any extra money. Kinyan b'toisu v'chol kinyan b'tois chayzer. It's a mistake, and then it goes back. That's what you're saying. Itmar. Okay, this is important. Okay, this is important. Itmar. Not that nothing it wasn't important, but okay, we're familiar, guys, with the concept of Zachar Ladam Shlei B'fanav. We introduced to it in the Mishnah of Machlokes Rabbi and the Chachamim to Fia Neved, whether it's in Schia or not. What does Schia do? What does Schia do? What Schia makes that the person that you're Zeicha for, even though he didn't appoint you as a Shliach, you're a Shliach. We saw Machlokes in Rashi and the Rambam and the Rif. To what extent? According to Rashi, he seems to be a Shliach Kabbalah, that he'll be freed as soon as what? As it goes to him. And that's why you had to learn Tanu and not Tain, as opposed to the Rif and the Rambam seem to say that it's only le'inyan that you can't have charata, but einachinami le'inyan being a shlich l'kabal, you wouldn't be more the shlich l'ilacha. Anyway, so what about hoylech? Itmar hoylech man le'ploini shnei chayiv loy. Take this money, that I'm chayiv. I say to Benji, take this money to Heshi that I'm chayiv. Now, Amarav chayiv bar chiyusay. Right. Since who's Mechayim and Achrayas? Heshi never made Benji into a shliach. I did. So since I sent it, I'm Mechayim Achrayas. I never said that again. Benji Heshi never made Benji a shliach, but there's a din of Zachar Lad Mishlei B'fanav. I can't go back on the deal. So I can't go back on the deal. And Chay Bach Yusay. Then Bo Lachser ain't a Chayzer. That's the middle stage. You didn't make you a shliach. Since I'm chai b'achrayas in bolachsa chayzer, you can go ahead and change your mind. So lema b'hakamifli. Let's make the following suggestion. So guys, outside again, I give the money to Benji. And Benji along the way loses the money or he's held up. Leinu, I'm chayiv. Good. I'm chayiv. Can I go back on the deal? I can't go back on the deal. Says Shmuel, since I'm Chai B'Achrais, I can go back on the deal. The machlokes would be whether you say Hoylech is Kischiyot or not. Loit Rav, you'd say Hoylech is Kischi, therefore I can't go back on the deal. Loit Shmuel, you'd say Hoylech is Lav Kischi. Says the Muskech the Lema Hakamifli. The Masava, Rav is of the opinion Hoylech Kischi. Hoylech would have a din of being Zeicha, dummy. Umar and Shmuel's of the opinion Savar, Hoylech is Lav Kischi dummy, is not Kischi. Says Malay, the Kuliyalma, Hoylech is Kischi dummy. Everyone says Hoylech is Kischi, V'hacha b'hak kaniflagi. What's the machlokes? So everyone holds, so who do we have to answer up? We have to answer up Shmuel. Like Shmuel, if Hoylech is Kischi, why could you go back on the deal? Masava le'amina migu. Rav says you don't say migu. You know, why does the svara of Shmuel? Migu, that what? I'm Chai B'Achar Yusa. Therefore, why I can go back on the deal. So, Masava, Amina Migu. So that's the machlokes. That's the machlokes. Let's see Rashi. Rav Sava, Hoylech Kischi Dami, Hilkach, Ein Chayzer. You can't go back on the deal. So I l'chayra, if you can't go back, why you Chai B'Achar Rayas? Umi you Chai B'Achar Yusay, Shehamalva leitzivu lemoisram lezeh. Because the Malva Heshi did not command Benji to go ahead and give it. Guys, see here, it's a very interesting svara, guys. Very interesting svara. To what extent is Benji the shliach of Heshi? If Heshi had made him a shliach, then I would not be Chai Bachrayas. If Heshi be Chai Bachrayas, I wouldn't take a loss. If you make him a shliach, he'd be Chai Bachrayas. But again, however, since we say Zachem Mishlei B'fanav and Hoylech is Kischi, so I can't go back on the deal. He's Zeicha for him. But since Heshi did not make Benji his shliach, like I'm Chai Bachrayas. That's the svara wad of Rav. Shmuel's svara is Hatalia. If I'm Chai Bachrayas, then Heshi has nothing yet. If I'm Chai Bachrayas, Heshi has nothing yet. That's the Migu. Migu der Chai Bachrayas what? Okay. So that's the machloikis. Everyone holds Cholos Kischi. However, says, do you say the svara of Migu? Migu der Chai Bachrayas, and everyone agrees with Chai Bachrayas because Heshi to make Benji into shliach. He wants the money safe and secure. He doesn't want to go ahead and take Achrayas for the transportation. So everyone's mind to that. Says Shmuel, once you say Migu, this is not Migu Kayachataynik. This is like a since that, therefore this. And that's the Shiloh over here. Since that, therefore this. Says Rashi. The Kuliyama Hoylech Kischi Dami. Klaimar Ba'alma Oloiva Hoylech is Kischi Dami. Klaim Ba'alma Hoylech. The Imhayu Matana, the Lek Achrayas. What's bothering Rashi, guys? Where's the schus over here? If Hoylech is kischi, if A, Heshi doesn't get it, B, I'm Chai Bachrayas, where's the schi? In other words, guys, Mitzias, when Shmuel says Hoylech is kischi, it's not in this case, it's kischi. Where's Heshi getting anything? I can change my mind, it's not schi. I'm Chai Bachrayas, you're not Chai Bachrayas. So Rashi is explaining, Shmuel would hold, let's say it was a matana. And there's no achrayas, right? There's my time. I'm giving him a present. So on that there'll be you say halakha schi because you don't have the svara of migu de chay b'achrayas. You don't. It's not you yachal aksabay. Okay, very geshmak. So back inside right now. That's the svara of machlekes. Whether you say migu that what yechay b'achrayas, therefore why you can be chayzer or not. Hanya kavah say the Rav that you're chay b'achrayas and ain't a chayzer. Hoylech manal aploini shani chayav loy. Hein manal aploini shani chayav loy. Hoylech manal aploini pikadin sheyesh loy biyadi. Hein manal aploini pikadin sheyesh loy biyadi. Chayav b'achar yusa yichay b'achrayas. Then balachsa ain't a chayzer. What? Guys, good. Fred the Gemara. The chayzer raya brura. Pikadin leimalei ein mitzayni shepikdoni biyad acher. Let him say, I don't want my pikadin in another person's hands. Says Rashi. The key in the Ritzoina, since Heshi doesn't want the Bikadin in Benji's hands, the key in the Ritzoina is Shtakich the Chayvuloi. It's the Chayv. Guys, there's a svara that when somebody entrusts something to you, he entrusts something to you. So Heshi entrusted me with the Bikadin. I give it to Benji, so I give it back to him. Well, that's the halacha that I can't change my mind. Heshi says, 1 second, I don't want you to have it. So therefore you having it is not a schus, it's a chayv. If it's a chayv, why can't I change my mind? That's the kasha. It says, it's speaking kishahuchsa kafrin. I don't have the best reputation. And therefore Heshi will be very happy to get it out of my rishus. So that's the case with what? That ain't a chayzer with hoylech kischi. I ain't with sunny shape going to be aracha. No, in this case, he dafka wants it be aracha. He wants it in somebody else's piece. Okay, not some other cases. Rav Sheshes habile asharta de sarbala. Rav Sheshes had a sharta. He had a chiyuv that he was owed credit. The sarbala. What does Rashi say? Sarbala is. This is one of the blas you can understand. Look it's a coat, guys. It's a coat. Right? So he had. What happened was Rashi ashrata. Hakafa, he had credit. Shenasan sarbolim bashroi, he gave coats on credit. Lasis le'amoyis l'zman kavua to get paid up at a certain period of time. So he had a debt for this b'mechuza. So Amalei Rabbi Yosef Bar Chama, and so Rav Sheshes said to Rabbi Yosef Bar Chama, "V'hadei da'asis when you come, I seen in LA. When you come to me, bring the chayv that I have from these people." So Azul Yavale, he went and they gave it to him. They gave him the money. So Amar, the Balachayv who owed the money, they said to Rabbi Yosef, Nikni minach, make a kinyan. In other words, that you're going to be chayiv b'achrayis and everything. Amalahu in. Okay. The slave ishtamit lahu. In the end, Rav Yosef avoided them, and he didn't want the shibud and didn't want the kinyan. He also Lagabe, when Rav Yosef showed up by Rav Sheshis with his money, Amalei, Rav Sheshis told him, shop it of Adis. You did good. You did good because you didn't make yourself an Eved Loiva to Ishmael. If you would have gone ahead and been Meshubed yourself, you would have been an Evet to them, and therefore you did good. The Lishnach Rina, I don't know the difference. This is what Rav Shesha said. No nafkamin in halacha. Shapa over that you didn't make a kinyan to be chai b'achrais in this money, right? Since Eved Loivel Ishmael and Balchayv they meshubed to the schayv, and therefore you would be by taking it off their hands, you would be meshubed. Says the Gemara. Another case. Rav Achi bar Yoshia Havile Ispika de Kaspa. He had an aspika, a kli, the kaspa of kesef ben Adoy Yamid base. So he had a kesef. He had in Adoy. He had a silver cup. So amaluhu l'Rav Destoy. It's a little complicated over here. So amaluhu Rav Achai Rav Yoshia said to Rav Destoy bar Rav Yanai and Rav Yoshia bar Kippur. So he said to two people. Rav Achai said to Rav Destoy and Rav Yanai and Rav Yoshia bar Kippur. He said to him, when you go to Nardoi, Bahade do Asisa from Nardoi, Asu Nele, bring me the silver cup. Right? I entrusted these people in Nardoi. They're watching the silver cup. Please go ahead and get that silver cup for me. So Azul, of Dostoi bar Yanai and Radresi by Kippur, they went, and Yov Nele, they gave him the cup. So Amru Lahu, Niknu Minaichu, they also said, make a kinyan from us to be Chai Bachrayas. So Amalahu, Rabbi Destoy and Rabbi Yanai told him, Loi, we won't be Mekabel Achrayas. So Amalahu, Adronanella, so give it back to us. If you're not doing Mekabel Achrayas, give it back to us. So Rabbi Destoy, Rabbi Yanai, Amalahu in, he said, okay, I'll give it back to you. Rabbi Yossi bar Kippur, Amalahu Loi, I won't give it back to you. Right? Because once you say Hoylech, Monadla Pliny, by Pikodin, we say what? It's like, you can't have Charata. Guys, you can't have a charata. This Zachan Adam. So therefore, you don't want to give it back. Rabbi Yossi don't want to give it back. Have become Mitzayerle, these people been Mitzayer Rabbi Yossi a lot that he should give back to Pikodin. So Amrulei, so they told Rabbi Yanai, who said, okay, I'll give it back to you. Chazi Mar Hechi Ka'avid. Do you see what this person Rabbi Yossi is doing? He's refusing to give it back after you said. So Amru Rabbi Destoy said, Hav Ramelei. It's good that you're hitting him. It's right that he should get hit for not returning the Pikadon. Okay, the bottom line is he didn't return the Pikadon. Kiyasi Reb Destoy, Reb Yanai, and Reb Yosef Kifa showed up. Lagabe, they came to Reb Achai. So Amalei Reb Yosef Bar Kifa said to Reb Achai, Chazi Mar, right? Do you see what Reb Destoy did? Loi Mistayed Loi Siyan. It's not enough you didn't help me out. Allah Amalahu Nami Tov Ramilei. They said it's good that you hit me. It's like putting salt on the wounds, right? So what happened? Amalei, so Reb Achai said to Reb Destoy, why'd you do that? So Amalei said the following. These people in Nardoi, Hein Amma, they're tall people, right? The Goyim Amma, and their hats are tall. Umidabim Mechatseyim, and they speak like from their stomach, very deep voice. Ushemaseyim of Holim, they have scary names. Arda, Arta, Upili Beresh. So, and if they would say Kaifaisoi, if they would tell a person force him, Kaifna would be forced. I'm Haragu, if they tell a person to kill, Hargan, they would kill. So Ilu Hargu es the stoy. If anyone would kill the stoy, Minasan Liyane Abba Bar Kamaisi, would anyone give my father son like me? Very interesting lesson. So Amalei Ravache said, but these people that they had the cup, were they close to the Malchus? So Amalei, Rabbi Destoy said, hey, they were. So Yeshlem Susan Prodim Shiratzim Achrayim, did they have horses and Feradim and mules that they run after them? Amalei, hey. So Amalei, Rav Achai told Reb Destoy, if that's the case, Shap Rav, you did good. You did good. Yeah, right. It's good. It's good that you avoided this. Okay. Says the Gemara. Said that. Yeah, I got it. You have to try it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyway, Hana says. You're giving a matana, but halachu bikshu, matsu. he died. In other words, there's a Noisen and there's a Makabel. So the Noisen went ahead and he gave him a ton to a Shliach. He sends it to a Makabel. The Makabel died. Hani Choda Yachzru L'Mishaleach. The matana goes back to the one who sent it. The Tanya Idach, another brisa, Liyarshe Mishin Ishtal Chuloi. It goes to the Yarshim of the one that they sent it to. So again, one more time. A person sending a matana, Reuben sending a matana to Shimon. Shimon dies. Is the matana is in the Halach Hischid, the Chayra. So you could say that Shimon already was like in it. However, one brisa says, since the Makabel's dead, it goes back to the Nisain, goes back to Ruvain. And one says, no, it goes to the Yarshim of Shimon. We'll see the Gemara. Okay, so now, Saba, now lema b'hakamifically. The Mas Saba Halach Hischid, the one who says that what? It goes by the Yarshim. The brisa that says it goes to the Yarshim of Shimon, since we say Halach Hischid Dami, so Shimon was Zaycha, and therefore moving, there's no backseas. And therefore, once the Makabel died, Shimon died, then we revert to Ruvain. It says, Amrav Abu Mamal, the Kuliyama Hoylach Lavkiski. Everyone Hoylach is Lavkiski. So the question is, so why did the Yarshim get it? Hoylach Lavkiski. Like Kasha, Habibari, right? Habibari, Habishkibnara. If it's a healthy person and said, go and bring it, if Hoylach Lavkiski dami, then what? It goes back because there's no kinyan. There's no divik shkimra keksulim dami, and the act of halach is av keschi, and therefore that's the brisa that said it goes back to Ruvain himself. However, if speaking about shkimra, the devarim keksulim dami, then even without halach keschi, it will be considered what delivered to Shimon. So therefore, that would be the answer. That's one way to explain the steerus in brises. Good, one way. Again, the brisa that says that what. That it goes back to Ruvain. Since Hoylach Lavkiski, there's no reason it shouldn't go back to Ruvain. According to the brisa, that says it goes back to it stays by Shimon. Since despite the fact that Hoylach is Lavkiski, that you don't need a kinyan, right?
The Shliach had it while the intended recipient was still alive.
We'll see. We'll see. This is big. We got a big sugya. Rabbi Zvid goes ahead and makes the chilik. They're both speaking about a shchiv meira, right? So what's the kasha then? If it's shchiv meira, what's the reason it goes back to Ruvain? What's the reason it goes back to Ruvain? Hadi isil l'mekabel. This is your avi. Hadi isil l'mekabel mishas matin mois. If the mekabel was alive b'shas matin mois, then it would go to Shimon's Yarshim. Why? Because Reuven's dying. He made a kinyan for who? For Shimon. Shimon was around. Shimon consequently died. Once he outlived Reuven, or even if he didn't outlive Reuven, as long as Reuven dies and doesn't revert, so it goes to Shimon's Yarshim. And the other one says, in other words, before he gave the money, the batana of money to the shliach, Shimon already had passed on, and therefore it would revert back to Reuven. So we have two terutzim, both going halach is lav kiski, right? Both going halach is lav kiski. We thought halach kiski, lav kiski, that was the havamina. According to Rav Mamam was speaking about a bari, healthy person. Therefore, since halach lav kiski, it goes back to Reuven. And according to the brisa that says that it goes to Shimon's Yarshim, of course, it's speaking about a shchiv meira, and the shchiv meira kiksum utsum medami. Rav Zvid is suggesting that Rav Zvid is saying it's both speaking about a shchiv meira, and the question was the Makabel alive at the time of Matan Mois? According to the brisa that he was, then it goes to his Yarshim, Shimon's Yarshim. According to the brisa it wasn't, then what? It would revert to Reuven. Okay, one more teretz, or Papa Amma. Or Papa says, bari. They're both speaking about bari and helach lavis kichski. So if helach lavis kichski both by bari, why does it go to Shimon at all? The mais makabel b'chayin noisein, right? The makabel Shimon died in the lifetime of the noisein, and therefore what? Therefore it goes back to Reuven. The mais noisein b'chayin makabel, right? That Reuven died first. Reuven died first, and Hoylach Lavkiski. Why does it go to Reuven's Yarshim? We hold mitzvah l'kayim divrei hameis. Right? Okay. The Gemara, I think we'll pick it up here tomorrow. But those are the different terutzim to answer up the steers. Either bari shkiv meira, and the makabel right before the nursing gave it, or it's speaking about a bari and it's speaking about a bari, and the Noisin died first, and therefore, since the Noisin died first, Mitzvah kind of a mace, and therefore you give it. Yeah, that's a big chart. Tomorrow we're going to get to that really big chart. I'm holding up.
Good. I couldn't see it.